The company was having a meeting, and I, bored out of my mind, sent a text to my online dating partner. "Hey baby, tonight. I want to see you wear a black strap dress and take a picture. For me, can you oh?" The result was the next second. That exact same text message suddenly popped up on the big screen in the meeting room. Clearly, that was the message I had just sent. Even scarier, the contact name saved was my husband, and my current online dating partner met me on a blind box app. We had never sent photos showing our faces to each other, but because we hit it off so well, we quickly confirmed our online relationship. As for me, I always had a few small requests, often boldly asking her to send a few slightly spicy photos. The first time she sent a half-body photo to me, I was completely stunned. What kind of divine body is this? Especially those long, slender legs. They were truly top-tier legs you could play with all year and never get tired of. Holy crap, guys. Did you see that? That text was actually sent by the CEO's husband. I even asked for photos in a black strap dress or whatever. Who is this kid? Stop sleeping. Didn't you see that? That text message just now is literally the biggest sensational rumor of the tour. Right now, I was still completely shaken. My colleague thought I was dozing off and even told me to lift my head and look up. When I lifted my head, I happened to lock eyes with the CEO. Seeing the CEO's cold gaze, I had to force a smile, then continued to keep my head low. Very quickly, under the CEO's scrutinizing gaze, the commotion was silenced. I kept my head down, my heart pounding endlessly. A moment later, my phone received a text message. "Okay, tonight when I get back, I'll wear it for you to see. I'm in a meeting right now. Let's talk later, okay? Be good." Wait, this cold, serious CEO actually knows how to act cute. Who knew that in private she plays so wild? The meeting abruptly ended, and I walked back to my seat in a daze. "Baby, why are you ignoring me now? Really was in a meeting." "Was it because I didn't reply to your text in time that you got mad? How about I make it up to you, okay?" My phone had a lot of unread messages, all from my online dating partner. She thought my lack of reply was because I was angry. But little did she know that I simply didn't dare to. Very quickly, a photo of her wearing black tights was sent over. "Isn't this the CEO from this morning? Aren't these the exact black tights she wore during the meeting? Even the high heels style is identical." Right at this moment, the director walked over to my desk. "Chen-se, what are you spacing out for? The CEO is calling you into her office." Oh man, I'm doomed, running straight into the line of fire. My hands tightly gripped the phone as I hurriedly stood in front of the CEO. "CEO, you called for me. Is there something?" At this point, I no longer had the slightest illusion about this so-called online dating. She found out I was just a subordinate employee. She would definitely break up with me. I didn't know what the CEO was doing on her computer. Well, my phone kept ringing continuously. Very quickly, the CEO raised her head and gave me an annoyed glance. "I'm sorry for disturbing you while working. CEO, I'll turn it off right away." This tense atmosphere lasted for nearly 20 minutes before the CEO, with a disappointed look, stood up from her desk, coldly staring at me. "This morning, I saw you looking listless during the meeting, not listening to a single word. Furthermore, last month's project had a serious error. No, our company doesn't keep useless people, right?" Hearing the CEO say that, my whole body trembled. Is she trying to fire me? "I am really sorry, because recently my family went through a minor crisis. My mind hasn't been focused. Boss, rest assured, this kind of situation will absolutely never happen again." But the actual reality was that last night I stayed up late chatting on the phone with the person standing right in front of me here. Conversation was so spicy that it led to me not sleeping well. If any more errors happen in the future, pack up your things and quit immediately. After speaking, the CEO waved her hand for me to get out. Escaping with my life, I returned to my desk, seeing dozens of unread messages sent by the CEO. After massaging my temples, returned to my seat and saw dozens of unread messages sent by the CEO. Me. After massaging my temples were aching. "Baby, say something." Won't you today? I feel so upset inside. That useless employee from last month made an error. The project costing the company a ton of compensation money. Boo-hoo! Looking at the phone, seeing the last message the CEO sent. Me, I was truly speechless. Isn't she? Talking about me. How is that called? A useless employee. Be good now. Just now I was scolded by my boss, so I didn't dare look at my phone. You should be a bit gentler with your subordinates. Best to give him a little raise, to strengthen his loyalty to the company. I gave a mischievous smile and tapped send on the message. I even already imagined next month's pay stub, having an extra 0 attached. The next second, I received a reply. What company does your boss work at? Let me help you handle that person. How dare they be so fierce with you? I let out a sigh. Turns out she only cared about the part where got scolded by my boss, while the part about giving a raise afterwards was completely missed. Oh well, I'll just go with the flow. After work, I stayed behind at the company alone, planning to redo a project that got messed up last month. At least in reality, my performance in front of the CEO couldn't be too terrible. Otherwise, how would I ever win her over if I could perform outstandingly at the company, making the real-life CEO fall in love with me too? Thinking of that seductive figure of the CEO, I couldn't help but chuckle foolishly. Off work and not going home. What are you foolishly chuckling here for? A cold voice echoed from behind. At this moment, goosebumps broke out all over my skin. Oh, CEO, you haven't left yet. I just wanted to work a bit harder after all. Last month's project had a slip-up, so I wanted to make up for it a bit. After hearing this, the CEO didn't say anything further, turning round and leaving. Looking at the proud figure of the CEO, I smirked in my heart. Baby, off work yet? I sent a text to the CEO and very quickly received a reply. I just got ready to leave the company. Preparing. Go eat. Am I a good girl? Seeing the CEO use this kind of tone, text me, it was really hard to imagine that she and that cold-faced dominant beauty were actually the exact same person. Yup, super good, giving you a kiss. She very quickly took a selfie of her lips and sent it over, being very careful not to reveal her work uniform. Now that you mention it, we've known each other for quite a while now. I want to meet you. The CEO, suddenly sending a message like that, made me a bit flustered. Could it be that playing online every day, happily like this, still wasn't enough for her, and she wanted to meet up in real life? Now is still not the time to meet. We still don't know each other too well. You're so annoying. How is that still not enough? My 3 measurements have all been seen by you. Regarding meeting up, she didn't push any further either. Just like that, I was at the company, writing client proposals, while flirting with the CEO. It really was a unique kind of fun. Unexpectedly, she hurriedly ran back, not even bothering to talk to me, walking straight into her office. Baby, sorry. The strap dress you like, I forgot it at the office. Plus, I couldn't buy black one. I only have a purple strap dress. Do you like it? Right after that, a photo was sent over. I zoomed in to look and almost had a nosebleed. You call this a strap dress? This is clearly just a few scraps of fabric. Other than covering up a few sensitive spots, the rest is just... No, I can't keep thinking about it. I shook my head, forcing myself to calm down. Right now, I'm in my office and outside there's an employee working overtime. So today, I can't call you. It's so annoying. Always nagging and asking to work overtime. Right when I saw the message, my fur stood on end. Clearly both of those people were me. Why treat us so differently? Thinking up to this point, an idea struck me. I smiled wickedly and sent a message. Remember 2 days ago when you said you'd be obedient and listen to me? The CEO inside her office. Read the message. We're both me. Why the double standard? Thinking about this, an idea popped into my head. With a sneaky grin, I sent a message. Still remember the other day when you said you'd be good and listen to me? The CEO inside her office. Call for NU. Little U, something urgent happened at the company. Both cheeks flushed red. Now this is the very first command from your hubby. Put on that 2-strap dress, then put on an overcoat, go outside and invite your employee out for a meal. After sending this message, I put my phone down, hurriedly regaining my working posture. But inside my heart, I still couldn't hide my excitement. Could this count as a form of roleplay? No way, that employee and I aren't that close. What if I accidentally get exposed? Didn't you say you wanted to try something thrilling? Or how about we skip this one? Honestly, when I first found out, I was also super shocked. Who knew my online dating partner had a bit of a submissive side? Once I learned she was the CEO, I got even more hyped up, thinking about how there would be so many opportunities like this in the future. I couldn't help taking action immediately. Fine, I got it. Hubby, don't be mad, okay? Receiving the text. I immediately turned off my computer. Very quickly, the entire company became dead silent. I perked up my ears to listen. Very quickly, I heard rustling sounds coming from inside the CEO's office. I tried to suppress the urge to barge straight inside. Seeing that there were no more sounds, I hurriedly stood up, pretending to get ready to head home, starting to pack up my things. Just at this moment, the CEO also walked out from her office. Out of the corner of my eye, I sneaked a glance. As expected on the outside, she was wearing a long overcoat. Thinking about how she was only wearing a flimsy layer of clothing. Underneath, I felt a bit hyped again. CEO, you're heading out. I'm almost wrapped up here, so I'll take my leave first. Hold on a second. This moment, the CEO suddenly called me back, pretending to be oblivious. Looked at her curiously. It's late, and I still haven't eaten. Come have dinner with me. These words were gritted out through the CEO's teeth. No, boss. You're being far too generous. I was just working overtime. How could I make the CEO spend money on me? I'll just go home and grab a bite, it's fine. Cut the nonsense. If you don't come today, you don't need come to work tomorrow. After speaking, she gave me no chance to decline and turned around to leave. My phone chimed with a notification message. Baby, what should I treat him to? I've never invited anyone out before. Looking at the CEO walking ahead, looking so adorable, I almost burst out laughing loudly. Why don't you try asking your employee? Maybe listening to someone else's opinion isn't a bad idea. I followed behind the CEO down the company building, then followed her into her car. CEO, sorry to make you spend money on me, boss. Rest assured, when the time comes, I'll definitely work hard to strive. What do you want to eat? The CEO directly interrupted my passionate speech, asking coldly. Inside my heart, I felt a bit petty just thinking about how she liked me online, yet in real life, I wasn't even worthy of carrying her shoes. Mischievous idea popped up in my head, preparing to pull a prank on her. Let's just get hot pot in this weather. Sweating a little bit, and then taking a shower. Feels super refreshing. Hearing that we were eating hot pot, the CEO seemed to hesitate. Seeing her like that, I immediately poured fuel on the fire. Or should we switch to a different place, somewhere a bit cheaper? Is hot pot a bit too expensive? Who would have thought the moment I finished speaking, the CEO turned her head around and gave me a super fierce glare. After that, slammed on the gas pedal, speeding off. The whole way there, the two of us didn't say a single word to each other. Looking at the expressionless face of the CEO, she was probably pissed off by me, but inside my heart, I was secretly laughing smugly. That's what you get for playing cold and distant. That's what you get for acting all high and mighty. Just you wait, my little love mission today has only just begun. Very quickly after that, under my navigation, the CEO drove the car to a famous hot pot spot nearby. Stepping out of the car, seeing the hot pot place packed with tons of people, with the aroma of hot pot broth wafting through the air, the CEO hesitated again. She stood frozen at the entrance of the restaurant for a long time without moving, while I just strutted right on inside the hot pot restaurant, found a table near the window, and sat down. Then I grabbed the menu and started ordering. 10 minutes later, the CEO finally stepped inside, cautiously sitting opposite me with an extremely awkward demeanor. Boss, look at how hot it is in here. You're still wearing your overcoat. How about taking it off to cool down? Hey boss, look, it's so hot in here, but you're still wearing a jacket. Why not take it off to cool down? After speaking, I took off my work uniform jacket, revealing the short-sleeved shirt inside. The CEO didn't say anything, just aggressively glared at me once, but when seeing the short-sleeved shirt was wearing, she clearly paused for a moment, and CEO's gaze seeming a bit off. I looked down. In that instant, I panicked to the extreme. The shirt I was wearing right now was the exact same shirt I wore during our video call before. Could it be that I'm about to get exposed? No. The CEO coldly replied to me, then lowered her head to play with her phone. I breathed a sigh of relief. Very quickly, on my phone, I received a message. Baby, an employee at my company is wearing a shirt identical to yours, but my hubby still looks better wearing it. Seeing the message sent my phone, I was utterly speechless, as expected. No matter who it is, once they're head over heels in love, they're beyond saving. Then do you think he looks a lot like me? I summoned all my courage and sent a message. How could he? In my heart, baby is the absolute best no matter who wears it. No one looks as good as you are. Just like that, the CEO and I, two people, neither of us said a word to the other, just glued our eyes to our phones. Even the waiter nearby looked at us with a vibe that felt totally wrong. Right now in my heart I feel so weird, a bit embarrassed. I was drinking water, and seeing this message I spat out the mouthful of water. After that, I coughed hysterically, almost suffocating. My actions attracted the attention of the CEO. I hurriedly apologized. Inside my heart, I thought to myself, this girl's phrasing is getting more and more bold by the day. Moreover, in a public place, to actually send such provocative words looks like he definitely has a submissive personality. Very quickly, the food was served onto the table. I put away my phone and started digging and eating my fill of the food in front of me. On the other side, seeing that her online dating partner didn't reply to the messages anymore, she also put away her phone and ate her meal. As time passed, the temperature around us grew higher and higher. Even wearing a short-sleeved shirt, my back was soaked with sweat. You can imagine the CEO wearing a heavy overcoat like that, just how hot she was. Getting by now. I'm going outside to catch some air for a bit. You eat first. Leaving behind a sentence, she dashed right out of the hot pot restaurant. Looking through the glass pane, I could even see the CEO fanning her overcoat so the cold air could breeze inside. For some reason, at this moment, I felt a total sense of achievement. Hey babe, are you feeling hot and flustered? Do you need us bros to help you cool down, huh? Right at this moment, from the sidewalk pub next door, 3 drunken men stepped out. Screw off. How could the CEO be in any mood to deal with those 3 guys? She just coldly spat out a phrase, then turned around intending to walk back into the restaurant. Who knew those 3 guys wouldn't let her off, charging over and ripping open the sleeve of her coat. The CEO's coat was torn open along a line, exposing her fair skin in front of the 3 men. Seeing that sight, those 3 guys drooled so greedily they almost slobbered. What are you playing innocent for with us, babe? Dressing so provocatively like this, aren't you trying to seduce? And the bald guy, leading them, charged over, tightly grabbing the CEO's arm, intending to forcibly drag her away. The CEO slapped him straight across the face. Unfortunately, due to the glaring difference in strength, it didn't deal a single point of damage at all. On the contrary, it made the other party even more excited. This babe is pretty feisty, huh? But your granddaddy here happens to like wild horses. Very quickly, those 3 guys prepared to rush up and drag the CEO away. At this moment, I had already dashed out right before they could make a move, pulling the CEO into my chest while holding the CEO. I said to those 3 guys, I say bros, if you're drunk, go home, take a shower, and go to sleep early. Doing this kind of stuff, aren't you afraid of getting beaten up? The CEO wanted to struggle, so I used some force and gave her butt a hard slap. Only then did she behave obediently. Where the hell did you crawl out from, punk? Let me tell. You don't spoil or fun. Or else I'll make you spend the rest of your life bedridden. I was also getting a bit annoyed. The CEO was brought out by me. But how could I let guys like you lay hands on my woman? It's not your turn to lay hands on her. I saw the female CEO glare fiercely at me once, and I wasn't about to be outdone. Glaring right back. I'm saving you here, boss, and you're still using that kind of look to stare at me. Feeling like that wasn't enough to vent my frustration, I gave her butt another hard slap. Let me tell you, that's any girl we have our eyes on belongs to us. I advise you not to stick your nose into other people's business, or else today I'll definitely give you a taste of real suffering. Those three guys didn't talk much either, using their drunk courage to rush forward, intending to forcibly take the CEO away. I didn't say much either, pushing the CEO behind my back directly, grabbing the bald guy's arm, using my strength to twist it hard, in the blink of an eye. A tragic scream echoed, like a pig being slaughtered. You two, take one more step and I guarantee his arm breaks off completely. Don't move, don't twitch anymore, or your granddaddy's arm really is gonna break. In the future, when you're drunk, worry about going home early. If you're still blind like today, I'll definitely make sure you guys are missing something from your bodies. Watching those three guys messily run off, I let out a smile, raising my chin toward the CEO. Boss, see if it weren't for me today, you would've been in big trouble. Want to consider giving me a raise or something? Right now, feeling a bit overly excited, I stepped forward, intending to put my arm around the CEO's shoulder. The next second, I felt the whole world spinning around. By the time I regained my senses, my whole body was lying flat on the ground while the CEO was sitting on top of me, pinning me down. A precise joint lock that made me completely unable to move. One hand was locked tight, while the other kept tapping the ground to surrender. But the CEO had zero intention of stopping. Ma'am, you know martial arts. Why didn't you say so earlier? Look at this. Isn't this just a big misunderstanding? Just now you slapped my butt twice. Left with no choice, I had to yield. Wasn't that a special situation, boss? Look, the other side had three whole people, and their tempers were so short like that. Wasn't I afraid you'd get hurt? Boss, I just wanted you to calm down a bit. Facing my explanation, the CEO simply didn't bother to listen, and the force in her hands increased by another notch. Boss, spare me. Ouch, 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 itcha. That feeling of wanting to move, but not daring to, really was way too uncomfortable. This chick hits really hard. You went way out of line. Remember clearly, you're just an employee. I was just about to talk back, but suddenly realized the two of us were stuck tightly together in an extremely weird posture, and my eyes happened to catch sight of a few spots I shouldn't be looking at. Boss, you like purple. My big mouth really got me into trouble. If you see it, just see it. Why did you insist on saying it out loud? Now look at what happened after hearing that. The CEO was stunned for a moment and then realized my perverted eyes were looking right at her. Half an hour later, I appeared at the hospital, my left arm in a cast suspended from my neck with bandages, looking as miserable as one could possibly look. Boss, see if what I said was right. Anger makes you lose your mind. And now look, your star employee has lost his ability to work. Then tomorrow you don't need come to work anymore. You're fired. Although the CEO said that out loud, I could detect a trace of guilt in her eyes. Seeing that, I chuckled again, leaning in close to look at her and saying, everyone says you treat the employees at the company really well. I don't believe you'd easily fire me, let alone the fact that I even helped you lose weight. You're truly nosy. After speaking, the CEO immediately stood up, walking toward the emergency exit nearby. As for me, I watched her back, corner of my mouth slightly turning up. As expected, totally within my calculations. When I took my phone out, my message was sent out, baby. Sorry tonight I can't be by your side anymore. Over here I have a bit of business to handle. Very quickly, the CEO's message was sent over. Is Yenting's dad? Did something happen? While I replied to the text, I looked at my left hand wrapped in bandages, then gave a helpless smile. Nothing. A company project has a few issues that need discussing. So tonight I'll be very busy. Don't wait up for me, okay? Next time, I'll definitely make it up to you properly. In my heart, I couldn't stop grumbling and complaining. The matter of the boss breaking my arm wasn't mentioned at all, and she even claimed the company had a project to handle. Today, I'm giving the boss some face. I didn't realize the CEO had appeared right in front of me at some point. What are you laughing at? Seeing me laughing so smug, the CEO's face darkened, and she spoke coldly. I hurriedly wiped off the smile, shaking my head to pretend nothing was wrong. Where do you live? I'll drive you home. I'm giving paid leave. Wait until your arm is fully healed before coming back to work. The CEO turned around and walked away, directly giving me no chance to speak. Left with no choice, I had to tag along behind the CEO out of the hospital, sitting in the car. Give me your address, I'll take you home. Looks like the CEO wasn't in the mood to talk with me. Perhaps it was because my appearance caused her to be unable to chat with her online dating partner tonight. So she vented all her frustration on me. I stuck one hand and rummaged through my pants pocket and looked at the CEO with a helpless look, saying, the keys are lost. Don't know if I dropped them while fighting to help you, boss, or if they fell out when you rode on top of me just now. Now I can't go home anymore. Hearing me mention riding on top of me, the CEO's face flushed red instantly. Then she glared at me fiercely. The next second, she tightly grabbed the arm I had in a cast. If you dare bring this up in front of me again, I'll shatter it completely. Got it. Seeing the fierce look of the CEO, I couldn't help but gulp down spit out of instinct, nodding my head frantically. The CEO pulled her hand back. After that, she thought for a moment and said, I'll take you to a hotel. You just stay at the hotel to recover. I'll cover the expenses. No way, and my arm hurts like crazy. Staying alone at a hotel doing anything is inconvenient, and there's no one at my side to take care of me. I truly did a good deed only to get repaid with trouble. Hearing that the CEO planned to take me to a hotel, I was the very first to refuse. If I went to a hotel, how could I play with fire and get close to her anymore? So I started throwing a tantrum. Out of goodwill, I helped you and was busy all night, yet you have the heart to leave me alone at a hotel. Doing a good deed really gets repaid with trouble. Fine, come to my place, then. Tomorrow I'll call a locksmith for you. Once it's done, you have to leave right away. Don't cause any more trouble for me. In the end, under my relentless, pathetic pestering, the CEO couldn't take it anymore and decided to drive me to her house first tonight. Although it didn't achieve the expected result, originally I planned to leech off and stay at the CEO's house forever. How things turned out now isn't bad either. At least I had to admire the CEO's boudoir. I'm probably the first person in the company to get this kind of treatment. A result like this is more than enough to make me satisfied. The CEO had a gloomy face while driving, while I leisurely laid back in the passenger seat. Before long, the CEO drove me into a high-end residential neighborhood. The moment I stepped past the gate, I looked around in shock. Even though it was nighttime, the landscape inside this neighborhood was still as beautiful as a royal villa, surrounded by picturesque scenery. An uncultured guy like me just kept his mouth wide open. The CEO, with an annoyed face, stepped forward, grabbed my arm, and dragged me right along. Because in her eyes I looked far too embarrassing. Old Lou wasn't that person just now. One dubbed the cold beauty CEO of our neighborhood. Never seen her bring a stranger home before. What's so strange about that? When women reach a certain age, they have to find a companion too. It's just that this kid looks a bit too unrefined. She seemed to keep dragging my arm the whole time. It's fine. I don't mind. I won't go around saying the CEO took advantage of me. Standing beside her, I teasingly spoke. It was crystal clear if it weren't for the fact that, in her heart, the CEO felt guilty toward me. I probably would have been slapped to death by now. Watching the CEO take out her key, piecing was crystal clear. If it weren't for the fact that, inside her heart, the CEO felt guilty toward me, I probably would have been slapped. Offers a price of 1 yuan, right? Unlocked the door inside my heart. I was extremely excited. Finally, I was about to become the very first man to step into her room when the lights in the room turned on the moment I saw CEO's entire house. I was completely stunned. Who would have thought this decoration style would be identical to my grandpa's philosophy living alone in such a big house? But the decor is this. Minimalist, no joke. The house, the listed company's CEO, aside from a few commonly used pieces of furniture, had literally nothing else. The company was having a meeting, and I bored out of my mind. This made the entire room feel unusually empty. Your room is on the first floor on the left near the restroom. Tonight, you sleep there. Don't wander around. If I catch you sneaking upstairs, sent a text to my online dating partner. Hey baby, don't blame me for calling the police. After the CEO laid down a few forbidden rules, she walked straight upstairs. From the bathroom, the sound of flowing water came rushing out of my mind. I sat down on the sofa in the living room and started observing this room. A minimalist decor with just two colors, black and white. There wasn't even a single potted green plant for a girl having a few pink decorations in the living room. Shouldn't that be something totally normal? Night. I want to see you wear a black strap dress and take a picture. Right at this moment, I suddenly felt heart-pained for that girl. In real life, she was the company's CEO who had to oversee the big picture, but online, she was just a weak girl who complained to me every day about the annoying things in life. In this moment, an idea popped into my head. I had to change her the matter of releasing the lively, open, and easily blushing girl, hidden deep inside her inner self, to the outside. Right at this moment, my hungry stomach growled at the worst possible time. Originally, I planned to eat hot pot, but after that so many things happened, leaving me completely starved. Now I originally planned to stand up and find something myself to line my stomach, but suddenly I wanted to see how this online dating partner's cooking skills turned out. So I had to endure hunger, waiting for her to finish her shower and step out. An hour later, right when I was about to pass out from hunger, the CEO finally stepped out. Seeing me lying on the sofa with a face looking like a living corpse, the CEO stood on the second floor and asked why I hadn't gone to rest yet. I'm hungry, so hungry I can't sleep. The CEO looked at me helplessly, walked downstairs, took out a box of chilled, fresh milk from the fridge and tossed it in front of me. Drink it and rest early. Tomorrow I'll take you back. Boss, are you trying to use this to get rid of your star employee? At least you should cook me a bowl of noodles tonight. Neither of us eat our fill, and doing this isn't just mistreating, it's also mistreating yourself, boss. Hearing that, the CEO's face turned dark, holding back the urge to strangle me to death. She opened the fridge, pulled out all the ingredients inside in one go, then turned on the stove and started boiling water. At this time, I closed my eyes, listening to the clanking sounds, while the CEO was busy thinking about what our future child should be named. That sounds good. Looks like up until now the two of us still haven't told each other our names. Just like that, while I was delusionally imagining our child going to elementary school, I suddenly smelled a burnt stench. I hurriedly sat up and saw the CEO dump the charred noodles in the pot straight into the trash can, then start washing the pot. She's a CEO, so she doesn't cook often. Getting nervous and making a mistake the first time is super normal and understandable. I comforted myself like that, but when I saw the CEO take unwashed green vegetables, snap them casually, and throw them straight into the boiling pot, then grab a handful of noodles and toss them directly into the veggies. Before putting them into the fridge, they were definitely washed clean, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Eating it won't hurt, I continued, comforting myself. However, when I saw the CEO crack an egg, dropping half an eggshell into the pot while she still squeezed her eyes shut, in the southern area of the city, holding quite a few import channels in his hands, and turned a blind eye. I immediately bolted up from the sofa. This chick is definitely trying to poison me. I can't let her keep cooking any longer. Hey boss, how about letting me do it, I see. You're not very experienced. I racked my brains to come up with this term, not very experienced. Let me try one more time. Next time, there'll definitely be no problem. In this moment, I realized she isn't not experienced. She straight up doesn't know how to cook at all. Seeing her like this, the softest spot deep inside my heart was touched. Boss, take a rest. Let me do it. After speaking, I immediately grabbed the task from the CEO's hands, sending her to rest in a corner. On one hand, felt a bit heart-pained. A girl whose 10 fingers haven't touched spring water like this was actually cooking for me. On the other hand, I was seriously too hungry to endure it any longer. After that, I expertly washed the pot and filled it with water. Once the water boiled, I dropped the noodles straight into the pot while on the side I started washing the veggies. At this time, the CEO was sitting right behind my back watching me smoothly handle tools she didn't even know how to use. She was stunned, having never thought cooking in my hands could become so simple. I didn't notice that the CEO was looking at me and with super fast speed cracked 2 eggs into the boiling, bubbling water, counted a dozen seconds, then scooped them right out, placing the eggs on top of the cooked noodles. Then I poked them gently with chopsticks, and the soft-boiled milk inside immediately flowed out. Finally, I added a few drops of sesame oil, and in the blink of an eye, the aroma wafted through the whole room. You're hungry, right? Come give it a try. Usually, I always cook for myself, so I'm absolutely confident in my skills. I picked up the bowl and chopsticks and placed the bowl of noodles right in front of the CEO. A bowl of instant noodles processed through my hands came extremely appetizing, especially that soft-boiled egg yolk on top, which upgraded the presentation of this noodle bowl by more than just one level, plus a few leafy greens for decoration. As I spoke, I placed my portion on the tea table, grabbed a pair of chopsticks, blew on it, and shoved into my mouth. I was truly starving. Do you cook often? At this time, the CEO's tone was no longer cold, but full of curiosity. That's right, usually. I live alone. If I don't cook and order takeout every day, it gets super expensive. Ordering takeout isn't hygienic either. Boss, you have no idea what kind of stuff people put in there. It's still better to cook yourself for peace of mind. Watching me eat so heartily, the CEO couldn't help at either picking up a bite with chopsticks and putting it into her mouth. Very quickly, her eyes lit up completely. It had been a really long time since she got to eat a bowl of noodles this delicious. It even made her remember the taste of home-cooked meals from her mom. Boss, in a bit after finishing, you just go upstairs and rest. Leave the rest to me. I'll clean everything up before going to sleep. In this moment, I felt like a total manly guy in front of CEO with confidence soaring sky high, you know. Your arm. Looking at my left arm in a cast, CEO couldn't help feeling a bit worried. Who knew the CEO would actually care about me? I turned my head and smiled at her, signaling that it was no problem. After causing so much trouble myself, I couldn't just do nothing and expect to be fed right. Under my urging, the CEO went back to her bedroom. I cleaned up the bowls and chopsticks on the table into the sink. Right while I was washing dishes, my phone notified a message. Good night, my love. Good night. The next morning, the CEO walked out of her room and saw a man wearing an apron busy in the kitchen. Right now, my forehead was beaded with sweat, having been busy since 6 in the morning until now. Finally, this sumptuous breakfast was about to come out of the oven. What are you doing? On her face, there was no longer the look of that helpless little woman from yesterday. Instead, she had recovered her cold demeanor. Making a breakfast of love for you, boss. Anyhow, seeing as you don't know how to cook, every morning you probably don't have time to eat anything. Right now, I don't have any work to do anyway, so while I'm at it, I made a little bit. Hearing this, the CEO had zero expression whatsoever, sitting on the chair, watching me get busy. After, she suddenly said she'd take me back after eating. I was frying eggs and got startled. Who would have thought I still couldn't stay here? All right then, I'll trouble you, boss. I picked up the plate of freshly fried eggs, turned around with a smile, and walked over. The CEO said nothing, just took a slice of bread, stuffed it with fried egg, and took a bite, very quickly. Noticed her expression change. It was a look of total amazement today. You don't have anything busy to do, right? This sudden question left me not knowing how to answer. Nothing important, either. If you need me, boss, I can work from home. Actually, yesterday, I thought about it too. Since you were injured because of work, anyway, the money for food will naturally be paid for by the company too. Coincidentally, usually, I don't have time to cook. I'll cover the money, you do the cooking. Just consider it as me covering your food expenses. Is that so? The CEO, with an unreadable face while eating breakfast, spoke. Like that? How could I not understand the CEO's intention? Right, it must be because that bowl of noodles last night conquered her stomach. That's right, if you hadn't mentioned it, boss. I almost forgot. The wound on my arm also needs someone to help change the dressing. How about I just stay at your place and bother you for a while, boss? How about being a personal chef for you, boss? The two of them instantly formed a silent understanding and wanted to leech off and not leave, while the other wanted to have delicious food every day. Just like that, I stayed at the CEO's house. After finishing breakfast, the CEO went to the company to work while I stayed home, cleaning up with one hand. That I slouched back on the sofa and messaged the CEO. Good morning, baby. The CEO didn't reply much because, at this moment, she was in a huge dilemma. It was as if she were having an affair. Clearly, she had a boyfriend. Yet she let another man move into her house to stay. To dispel this thought, the entire morning she worked like crazy. After signing the final document, her whole body was exhausted, even having to lean on the desk just to stand up from her chair. Baby, working is so tiring. My back hurts so much. The CEO messaged and started complaining. Actually, she didn't realize that ever since I appeared at her house online, the two of them had spent the entire day without saying a single sweet word to each other. She might not have noticed this detail, but as the person involved, I could totally feel it. Then usually, you need to pay attention to your sitting posture. Okay? You shouldn't sit for too long. When you have free time, stand up and get some movement in. B. Good, love you. The CEO sat on the sofa rubbing her waist. In her mind, what came up was actually that cooking scene from last night. That was the first time she, in front of an outsider, revealed her vulnerable side. Her perfect image in that instant had shattered, trying to act strong or stubborn in front of him. Couldn't even take a single blow. Hello, is this the official flagship store? I'd like to order waist support belt, preferably the type with a heating function for the stomach. Setting down my phone, I comfortably laid on the sofa. This feeling was exactly like using cheats in a game, knowing everything in advance. For the entire day, the CEO didn't chat with her online dating partner anymore while I held a pen, walking back and forth in the room to take notes. The purpose was super simple: to renovate the CEO's room. A girl using a black and white color scheme like this, living here for long, would definitely cause psychological issues. Just like that, the CEO and I, each busy all day long, until I received a phone call. Unexpectedly, it was a video call from the CEO. Come downstairs and help grab some stuff. When I went downstairs and saw the scene in front of my eyes, I really didn't know what to say anymore. On both sides of the CEO were two supermarket carts packed to the brim with stuff. Didn't know what you needed, so I just bought a lot of everything. Tonight I want to eat grilled fish. When saying that sentence, a bit. Tonight I wanna eat grilled fish. As she said those words, the CEO was a bit embarrassed, but I knew this was a good start because she finally spoke out her wishes. Since I only had one arm that could exert force, the two of us joining forces to tackle this mountain of groceries was still extremely tough. It took 9 oxen and 2 tigers of effort for the CEO and me to finally move all these items inside the house. Seeing the living room packed full of stuff like this made it feel like a real home, not empty and bare like before. The CEO laid, sprawled on the sofa, not giving a damn about her. Image her hands massaging her forehead. It was obvious today. She was totally exhausted. As I put away the bought items one by one into the fridge, I said, "I'm telling you, boss, you don't need to work yourself to death like that. You gotta let yourself catch a breath too, you know." The CEO said nothing, so I thought she didn't even bother paying attention to me until I finished neatly organizing everything and turned around only to discover she had already fallen fast asleep on the sofa. Who knows when I walked over, carefully took the blanket from the side and covered the CEO. While I was at it, I took the heating waist belt bought today and placed it in a spot where the moment she opened her eyes, she could see it. After that, humming a little tune, I started making today's grilled fish dish. Gotta admit, in this moment, it really felt like I was cooking dinner for a wife who just came home from work after staying busy for a whole hour. I finally put the grilled fish into the tray. The CEO woke up, and when she discovered the blanket covering her, she immediately sat bolt upright, busy in the kitchen. She let out a sigh of relief. She had never slept so soundly in front of an outsider before. Could it be that she actually trusted me this much? Very quickly, I glanced over and immediately spotted the heating waist belt placed on the tea table. "I ordered it for you. Seeing you carry all those heavy things so hard, your back must definitely be hurting. Dates and estimating. In a few days, it'll be that time of the month for you, so I went ahead and bought you this heating waist belt. I also prepared brown sugar in advance, taking advantage of these few days while you can still eat savory heavy food. I gotta make some good stuff for you." While talking, I didn't even turn, my head hand still busy working, but I could already imagine how touched the CEO would be after hearing these words. Just as I predicted, the CEO looked at the heating waist belt in her hands along with the brown sugar prepared right beside it and sat there dazed, flustered, not knowing what to do. For so many years, she had always been grinding alone. No one had ever cared like this. Even her online dating partner only offered verbal comfort. Yet the man in front of her was so incredibly thoughtful. The CEO just kept staring intently at me. Even she didn't realize she was staring so blankly. All done, along with the final step being completed. Today's grilled fish dish was officially ready: grilled oysters, steamed rice. I served the grilled fish and main dishes onto the tea table. At this time, the CEO still hadn't snapped back to reality, still staring at me intently. "Hey, what are you doing, huh? Time to eat. It's not like there's delicious food on my face." I waved chopsticks in front of the CEO. Ting, or snap out of it. I picked up my bowl and food, walked over to the other side and sat down. "You're the boss, and I'm just the guy you hired to cook. Of course, I can't sit together with the homeowner. Yep, on this point, I really know my place." After saying that, I paid no mind to the CEO's expression and casually picked up my bowl of rice, feeling totally triumphant. The CEO picked up a piece of fish and put it in her mouth. The very next second, her eyes lit up brightly as she was about to speak and give some praise. Turning her head, she saw me, resting my chin on my hand, looking at her with a bright smile beaming on my face. "You can praise me. Ow, doesn't it taste super good?" Seeing my smug look, he let out a, "It's just average, just slightly better than roadside street food, that's all." Hearing those words, the smile on my face stiffened and a sense of defeat instantly washed over my whole body. From an angle I didn't notice, the CEO saw my deflated look and the corners of her tightly pursed lips subtly curled up. By the roadside, that's all. Hearing this, the smile on my face froze solid. A sense of defeat instantly consumed my entire body. Compensate all of my assets. Joyuan Technology, the South City project, up into a smile. Right when I was doubting my own cooking skills, I suddenly noticed the CEO's bowl of rice was already emptied to the bottom right now. Her two cheeks were slightly flushed red, and on her forehead, profuse sweat droplets had broken out, her mouth constantly gasping from the spice inside. My heart, I was secretly thrilled. "You stubborn-mouthed woman. Let's see how long you can keep pretending. Is it a bit spicy? Boss, you didn't say you couldn't eat spicy food." After speaking, stood up and walked over to the fridge. "Who said so?" It's just a little bit hot, that's all. Right now, the CEO's lips had been spiced to the point of being slightly swollen and red, looking extremely attractive. I stepped over, taking a can of peanut milk just retrieved from the fridge, and placing it in front of her. Don't be so stubborn anymore, drink it, big sister. In a few days, it's your period. Eating so much spicy and stimulating food isn't good for your health. The CEO looked at the can of peanut milk in front of her, then heard me mention the period matter. Her cheeks instantly turned even redder. How do you know I'm about to have my period? Well, that hanging on the wall over there. I reached out my hand, pointing at the wall calendar hanging on the CEO's wall. Back, and I was wondering why every month on there had circles drawn on it. Later, doing a little math, I knew right away those were the days she gets her period. But this month on, there hasn't been circled yet, but counting down. It's almost about time. At this time, the CEO said nothing more, lowering her head down, mouth claiming. It wasn't good yet all by herself. She finished off half the fish. The CEO, full and satisfied, immediately laid, sprawled on the sofa. After that, as if ordering around a servant, at home, she pointed at the leftover food on the table. Clean, right up. Tonight's dinner. I'm very satisfied, Hope. You keep it up. I cleaned up everything back to its place, brewed a glass of warm brown sugar water, and placed it in front of the CEO. Later, when you sit up, remember to drink it, okay? Starting right now, to replenish your ki and blood, then when the day comes, it won't be too unbearable. CEO laid face down on the sofa, only grunting softly, saying nothing more. But this living habit is super bad, clearly. Your back hurts yet? You still lay face down on the sofa. You know the pressure right here shouldn't be too high, huh? I didn't even know where I got the nerve talking while placing my hand on the CEO's waist. My right hand used force and pressed down once the spine immediately let out cracking sound. She looked at me curiously because the painful feeling had lessened. Bones being compressed for a long time will lead to misalignment of position in the future. Gotta pay attention. A CEO's gotta pay attention to health too, right? If the CEO gets sick, who's gonna pay my salary? After speaking, I immediately turned around and started cleaning up the kitchen. Knew I couldn't keep going on like this, being overly enthusiastic would instead cause resentment. Just maintaining this lukewarm attitude, I could continue staying here. After all, distance creates beauty. This bit of logic I still understood, babe. Are you feeling a bit better? Yet today, I was really too busy, didn't have time to chat with you. Yeah, I'm feeling much better, but occasionally, it still hurts. You're not by my side when it hurts. There's no one to care for me at all. Really don't know when I can see you again. Lately, I want to do voice calls with you, but you refuse to call video or even show your face, making it feel like we're dating in secret. I really want to meet you. Looking at the texts the CEO sent over, my head felt like it was gonna explode. Clearly, I had taken care of her to the point where even I felt touched. Plus, these past few days, I basically didn't dare tease her like before. I was living right inside her house, just opening voice call, and I'd be exposed instantly. Have you eaten yet? What do you want to eat? I'll order for you. No need. Lately, I've been learning to cook myself. Today, I made a grilled fish dish myself. Pretty awesome, right? Right after, a photo of the grilled fish dish was sent to my phone. It was made by me. I made it. In this moment, I felt like a total imp dog. Someone else's daughter took stuff I made to go win over another, my phone. I made that. It was me who made it. Right at this moment, I feel just like a total simp. That girl took the stuff I made to win over another guy, other man. Even though that person is also none other, and me thinking about it anyway still feels a bit irritating. Oh right, lately I might have to go on a business trip due to work requirements. I have to go deep into the mountain region for a field survey. Living conditions. There are pretty bad. Might not be able to contact you for 10 days or half a month, so I want to ask for your permission. Be absent for a while. After sending this text message, I casually picked a photo located at the very bottom of my album, a picture taken in this countryside, and sent it over. ever since last night, had already planned everything out to see if could use this half-month time frame to make the CEO fall for my real self, not that virtual online shadow. Right last night, already named this plan of mine. Old Mo, I want to eat fish. Since I suddenly asked for leave that night, the CEO and I chatted a whole lot from when we met to when we understood each other. All the way to fun stories in life. I even sent her a ton of photos in the countryside to prove I was about to go there for work. The consequence of pulling an all-nighter chatting was that I had to carry Panda eyes to go make breakfast for the CEO. Seeing the CEO had gone to work, I hurriedly slouched back on the sofa to catch up on sleep. By the time I opened my eyes, again I saw the CEO holding a stack of documents standing like a giant statue right in front of my face. Boss, you're back. Is it time to cook dinner already? Seeing the CEO back, I instinctively stood up, planning to get the apron, but was stopped by the CEO. Starting today, onward you'll be working from home. Still remember the project you messed up last month? The client specifically named you, demanding that you complete it. That's why your working hours have been pushed up earlier. This collaboration is extremely important, so you must finish proposal draft before tonight. Tomorrow, I'll bring you along. Negotiate with the client. You could tell the CEO valued this collaboration a lot. Her tone was noticeably more serious. What about dinner then? Unexpectedly, the CEO actually rolled up her sleeves and ducked straight into the kitchen. Tonight's dinner, just let me do it. You just focus on completing the proposal draft, that's enough. I was pretty skeptical of the CEO's words, but didn't refuse either, because this proposal draft was indeed super important, right? When I was concentrating on editing proposal draft, a blood-curdling scream cut straight through my train of thought. I looked up and over, seeing the CEO flailing, her hand's mouth non-stop, screaming on her finger. There was a scallop pinching hard. In the heat of the moment, I hurriedly grabbed CEO's hand, telling her not to move wildly. Then used 2 fingers to exert force and pry the scallop's shell open. Using a bit of force, pulled the CEO's hand completely out. Grown this big already, yet still so careless, I pulled the CEO's hand, found the first aid kit in the kitchen cabinet nearby, took out gauze and medical alcohol and started disinfecting her finger. First using a cotton swab to wipe dry the area on her finger that was bleeding, even blowing on it like coaxing a kid. Applying medical alcohol to disinfect, then using gauze to bandage it carefully. After finishing all of this, I saw the CEO's face, flushed red like a boiled shrimp. Only then did I realize I was still holding her hand. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Dinner. Just let me make it after finishing dinner. The CEO took on the task of cleaning up the house, while I sat at the tea table to keep editing the plan. In my opinion, the client this time really has no brain. Their benchmark plans were all top trending and hottest apps right now. For me, Kenuo. The result was the next second. Yet their requirement was to beat those apps and surpass the industry giants in terms of traffic. The very first time I held this proposal, already thought this was an impossible mission. Don't even know which impulsive idiot took on this requirement. The client pays a lot of money, so much that there's basically no reason to decline. But the penalty fee for breach of contract is also sky high, so high that the entire company can't afford to bear it. Left with no choice this time, the CEO personally gave the order. Plus, client specifically named me, personally gave the order. What's more, the other party even called me out by name, demanding me to left, so I had no choice but to grit my teeth and base IT on the original proposal, while adding a few customer attraction ideas of yours. Once you're done fixing it, get some rest early. Without me noticing, the CEO had brewed a cup of coffee for me and placed it right in front of me. Then she turned around and went upstairs. I watched her long legs leave my line of sight. For some reason, this very moment, my heart felt so warm inside. I wrote and revised this proposal over and over again. It wasn't until late into the night that I finally went to bed. Honestly, I had already guessed the outcome tomorrow. They would still be dissatisfied and would try every trick to force us to pay 6 times the contract breach fee. Early the next morning, Saw the CEO already dressed in her office, wherein she even threw a new set of clothes at me. But unfortunately, my arm was still in a cast, making it impossible to change by myself. So I got to experience what it feels like to have the female CEO of a listed company personally help me change the clothes, as my dress shirt was unbuttoned, revealing my 8-pack abs. I clearly felt the CEO's eyes stealing glances at me. After I caught her, she kept her eyes squeezed shut nearly the entire time, just to help me get dressed. Time to head out. I got into the CEO's car and headed straight to the negotiation venue. The place for this collab meeting was a private room in a luxury hotel. When the CEO and I opened the door and walked in, we saw the client grinning widely. I've long heard that your company's CEO is as beautiful as a flower. Meeting you in person today, the rumors definitely hold true. They focused all their eyes on the CEO while treating my arrival with pure mockery. Only then did I notice that there wasn't even a seat for me in the room. Please take a seat today. We need to thoroughly discuss the details of our partnership. The leader was a greasy, sleazy boss. From the moment we entered the room, his eyes never left her, glued straight to the CEO. With no seat available, I stood next to the CEO like a total clown. The client's 2 employees even sneered at me. At this point, my anger was spiking fast, but out of respect for the CEO, I didn't snap and just kept my head down, standing quietly. I've long heard about your company's reputation, but meeting you today is just like the rumors. You don't even know the most basic hospitality etiquette. Who knew that before I could snap? The CEO picked up a glass, took a sip of water, and looked around at everyone present. Watch your mouth. Don't think that just because you're the CEO, you can talk nonsense. How do we not know basic hospitality? He's just a sales guy. What right does he have to sit with us? Do the 2 pets beside you have the right to speak for you out of nowhere? The CEO's Ice Queen energy totally exploded, and she didn't even bother looking up. Standing beside her, my blood was pumping with excitement. Didn't expect the CEO to look so badass when she goes boss mode. Shut up, you 2 useless idiots. The CEO's sales representative is also part of her company. Got it? Aren't you 2 just sales reps yourselves? My apologies, we didn't think this through. Please, don't be angry. They originally intended to intimidate me right off the bat. After all, my previous proposal didn't satisfy them. But who would have guessed that the CEO of a major company would actually step up to defend a regular employee? Very quickly, a waiter brought over a chair and placed it next to the CEO. And just like that, the formal negotiations began. Show them what you've got. The CEO looked at me and spoke, looking just like an empress giving orders to her knight. All right, it's not our first time working together. We're all old acquaintances here. So let me put it simply. Your demands are basically impossible to pull off. Hearing me say that, the greasy guy was the first to leap up in protest. Look here, negotiations officially begin. Start your show then. The CEO looked at me and said, that posture looking exactly like a queen issuing orders to her knight. All right, it's not the first time. Elaborating. We're all old acquaintances anyway. So let me keep it brief. Like this, your request is basically impossible to fulfill. Hearing me say that, the timid guy was the first to jump up in protest. Look, Miss C. President Linwee sincerely wanted to cooperate, but the capability of your sales employee is just too pathetic. Look at this. Does this count as a breach of contract or not? The greasy middle-aged guy's mouth was almost grinning ear to ear right now, because if our company failed to deliver the product according their demands, we'd have to pay a massive breach of contract penalty fee. And that amount was definitely not small. In fact, it could easily cause our company to suffer a total collapse. Don't be in such a rush. What's wrong? Hit middle age, and life's not going smoothly. So now you can't keep your cool anymore. Seeing that greasy guy's smug, arrogant face, my blood boiled right back up, especially the way he looked at the CEO, which made me extremely uncomfortable. What did you just say? What I mean is, this collaboration can still move forward, but as the commissioned party, I need to make a demand of you guys. Keep in mind, it's not a request. It's a demand. According to the contract, the commissioning party must provide the commissioned party with a complete contract project requirements for the product and legal documentation. As I spoke, I flipped through the documents in my hand and intentionally showed them. There were no legal docs from your company whatsoever. It's been 2 full months now, and we've only received the contract you provided along with the product requirements, but your company's legal documentation hasn't reached us at all. Hearing this, the greasy guy picked up a wet wipe from the table to wipe the sweat off his forehead without uttering a word. Meanwhile, his 2 employees beside him kept shouting and screaming. We've already paid you the commissioning fee. What you need to do right now is deliver a product that satisfies us. What legal documents? You take the money, you do the work. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I looked at them like I was looking at 2 total idiots. Tossed the contract in my hand straight down in front of them. What we signed earlier was merely a signature confirming the contract agreement, just like the signature on the product design blueprint. However, as for the legal docs in the contract, verify your company's capability. We haven't signed off yet. We can meet your product requirements. First, I need to re-verify whether your company actually has enough capability or not. In other words, if you want to surpass the traffic levels of top-tier products on the market, then you need to provide our company with full legal docs certifying your capability, namely your registered capital project plan, as well as your total expected investment amount. Saying up to here. I grabbed the glass of water in front of me and took a big gulp, after which I immediately caught the CEO's eyes because the glass I had just used happened to be the exact glass my boss was drinking from earlier. I coughed dryly, twice feeling super embarrassed based on the product design concept. You guys need to provide us with proof of an expected investment of at least 1.5 billion yuan. If you have no way to prove that you have enough capability, maintain this project, you can unilaterally terminate the contract. The moment these words came out, the other side instantly went dead silent, not even knowing what to do next. They had never considered this issue, only intending to rely on this impossible task to score a massive payout from the breach of contract penalty. Oh, right, forgot to mention, ever since the contract notice was signed, the deadline was 3 months. You guys need to present the capability certification to us. Now it seems you guys only have 1 final month left. Of course, I also hope you guys can pull out this capability certificate. After all, our collaboration is a win-win project, but I still have to remind you all the end of the year is coming up, and the notary office is about to close for the holidays, so hurry it up. If within the specified time frame you fail to produce it, we'll have grounds to suspect you of scamming us for breach of contract penalties. Notary office is about to close for the holiday soon, so let's make good use of the time. If within the specified time frame you guys can't produce it, we have every reason to suspect you guys are scamming the breach of contract penalty fee. Money though, but I doubt a big company like yours would do something so shameful and shameless. Right? I stood up, bowed, and held out my hand very politely. The CEO gave plenty of respect as well. If there's nothing else, then we'll take our leave. First, hopefully, we'll still have a chance to collaborate, but that's only after you obtain capability certification. Otherwise, for unilaterally breaching the contract, you'll have to pay penalty fees. After speaking, the CEO and I left the private room. Honestly, that was ridiculously satisfying. Back in the car, I threw a hard punch into the air. The dark cloud in my chest had completely vanished. Not only did we solve the company's crisis, but we even flipped the entire table. So you being busy until midnight yesterday was just to find their loophole. The CEO's tone had softened quite a lot from her initial coldness. After all, once this issue was resolved, the company could be considered to have passed a massive crisis. Leaning back in the passenger seat, I smugly said, "Of course, this product is something we couldn't possibly design in the first place, so it's crystal clear they intentionally came to pick a fight. Plus, there's definitely an insider mole working with them in our company. That's how that contract got signed in the first place. Yesterday, I had to grind until midnight, reviewing the contract 5 or 6 times just to find a loophole in it, forcing them to prove the company has 1.5 billion yuan in assets within a month. It's total pipe dream stuff. So let's just wait until after the new year and take it from there. When that time comes, boss, you can get a team of lawyers to sue them. Oh, and remember to fire the employee who signed that contract. There's definitely something shady there. I just kept blabbering on, myself completely ignoring the CEO's gaze beside me, who was looking at me like, "Are you bossing me around right now?" Hearing the sudden shift in the CEO's tone, I got terrified and scrambled up, looking at the CEO while furiously shaking my head. How would I dare? It's just a suggestion, a teeny tiny suggestion, that's all. What happens next is still up to boss's decision. Right, after all, you're the head of the company. Seeing my shameless suck-up act, the CEO actually burst out laughing. "Great job. Your year-end bonus will be bumped up by 60% tonight. I want sweet and sour pork ribs." Seeing this attitude from the CEO, I got so hyped that I started waving my arms and legs around, like a conductor aggressively swinging his arm forward. "No problem at all. Let's go. Let me take you home." Hearing that the CEO turned her head to look at me, and I just smiled at her. In her heart, it felt like it had been a really long time since anyone said, "Let's go home together," to her. Ding dong ding dong. Pulled out my phone to check. Turned out to be video call from my mom. "Son, it's almost the new year. When are you getting time off? That perverted female boss of yours isn't forcing you to do overtime again, is she?" As soon as it connected, my mother's gentle face appeared on the phone screen. The words coming out of her mouth were practically worse than killing me, because the perverted boss in her mouth was sitting right next to me. "No way, Mom, our boss is brilliant, valiant, and leads with sheer genius." When did I ever call her perverted? She takes super good care of me. You definitely misheard. At this exact second, I dug up every single compliment could think of in my head to praise boss in one huge wave, desperately denying it. My mom listened, then put on a super suspicious look. "Didn't you say it yourself last time that because you made a tiny mistake last month, she docked a ton of your pay? You even said she's a total female demon. You were even snooping around about her menstrual cycle issues." "Wait, did I actually say that, Mom? Please stop talking. If you say any more, I won't even be able to go home for the new year. Son, someone's next to you. So it's not convenient to talk, right?" Fine. Fine, I won't talk anymore." I wanted to cry even more. Mom, if only your sharp brain had kicked in a few minutes earlier. Now that you stopped talking, there are people around, so it's not convenient to talk, huh? Okay, then Mom won't say any more. I wanted to cry even more. If this smartness of yours had come a few minutes earlier, it would have been so great. Now, without speaking, what's the point? Everything that needed to be heard. Mom already heard it all, son. Come home. A bit early for the new year. Okay? We're raising a whole house of cats at home. Didn't you say you liked cats the most? Now your dad is breeding cats and making pretty good money. If things aren't going smoothly at your company, just come back and work with your dad. No need to endure your boss anymore. Sure enough, what a small world. Just a moment ago, she said there was someone next to me, so she wouldn't complain anymore. But 2 sentences later, she went right back to badmouthing my boss. Right then, my mom rotated the camera real quick and pointed it out to our yard. In the yard, there were at least 100 cats scattered around, meowing in front of the camera. Seeing the yard filled with cats, I even felt a bit heartbroken, thought-finding. A good job would let me show filial piety to my parents, but unexpectedly they still had to start their own business, pave the way for this unambitious son of theirs. Mom, you guys shouldn't work too hard. Either you're getting up there in age. Just enjoy your golden years and rest. Oh, right, son, almost forgot to tell you your dad was elected village chief. You can consider yourself a second-generation rich kid now. Hearing what my mom said, I turned my head toward the CEO and realized that right now she was pursing her lips, secretly chuckling. The first thing your dad did after taking office was renovating the old city god temple in the village. A lot of villagers really respect him for it, and after a while he even plans to have them raise cats together to get rich. Right after speaking, my mom sent a photo of the village's city god temple. But by the time I wanted to stop her, it was already too late. The fully renovated city god temple was right there in front of my eyes and the CEO's. The CEO didn't care much when she first saw the photo, but she reacted really fast. pulling out her phone to scroll through chat history, opening up a photo, zooming in and starting to compare them. Mom, if there's nothing else, I'm hanging up now. When annual leave comes, I'll go back to visit you. Saying that, I quickly ended the video call, pretending like nothing happened, sitting in the passenger seat while actually using the corner of my eye to sneak a glance. Chenjai, look, is this the city god temple in your hometown? Who would have guessed? The CEO suddenly passed her phone over, zooming in on the city god temple in the picture for me to see. Probably not these kinds of city god temples. Basically, every village has one. It can't be that much of a coincidence, right? Turns out it really is in my village. Got it, I understand. Let's go home and cook that sweet and sour pork ribs. The CEO didn't dwell on this matter any further. After finishing dinner, I cleaned up the stuff in the living room. The CEO had gone back to her room early. Are you there? Today I saw a building that looks just like the one in your picture. It felt so similar. I wonder if you're there. It's been 3 days already since you last replied to my messages. Are you living well over there? I want to go find you, even if it's just to meet once. The phone in my pocket kept vibrating non-stop. I pulled it out to look, seeing these text messages sent by the CEO. For a moment, I didn't know what I should say to be right. At this very moment, I felt a bit of contempt for myself. I didn't even have the courage to face the girl I liked. To speak out, I wanted to be brave. Just once, but thinking about what happens after being brave. In return, it might just be a breakup, maybe never seeing each other again, without even a shred of affection left for the rest of our lives. Just like that, the two people carrying their own secret troubles in their hearts fell asleep in their rooms. Until the middle of the night, I was woken up by a series of knocks on the door. Opened the door to check. Turns out it was the CEO, wearing pajamas. Right now, both of her eyes were red and rimmed, which made me feel deeply pained for her. So much so that I had zero mind to admire her perfect figure. Can we go to your hometown tomorrow? This sudden question left me completely clueless on how to answer. Before I could even react, the CEO pulled out a laptop from behind her back. I've taken the trouble to look it up. There are a total of what? Before I even had time to react, CEO had already pulled out a laptop from behind. I've taken the trouble to look it up. There are a total of 246 villages have a city god temple. I collected them all and compared every single one. As a result, the place that looks identical to the picture of that city god temple is only in your village. Take me there. Hearing the CEO say that, my heart felt like it was squeezed tight by someone. Who would have thought a photo I took so casually would put in so much effort? Like this boss. Why did you have to care so much about the city god temple in my village? Now in the city, there are plenty of sacred temples too, whether it's praying for wealth, love, or children. I want to meet someone. Before I could finish my sentence, the CEO interrupted me, looking completely lost as she spoke. Does that person owe you money, boss? Half joking, half serious, I asked her. The CEO nodded. The next second, her eyes grew slightly red, tears brimming and about to spill over. That person owes me more than just money. I want to find that person. Can I go back to your village with you to take a look? At this moment, I really couldn't think of any reason to refuse anymore. A high and mighty CEO was actually using a begging tone to ask me. Seeing me agree, she was finally satisfied and turned round to leave. Sure enough, the CEO's style is super decisive. Early the next morning, as soon as I woke up, I found 2 large suitcases in the living room. The CEO had already changed her clothes and was sitting on the sofa. I'll give you half an hour to brush your teeth, wash your face, and change clothes. Your leave request has been approved by me. Today, we're setting off. The CEO didn't give me any chance to react at all, just sitting there staring at her watch. I knew the time had started counting down, so I frantically rushed into the bathroom to brush my teeth, wash my face, and shower, taking less than 15 minutes total. After changing clothes, I stood at the door, smiling at the CEO. Hey, carry the suitcases downstairs. It's my first time coming to your home, and I didn't know what gifts to bring for your parents, so I haven't bought anything yet. It took a massive effort for me to haul the 2 suitcases to the car. After that I caught the car keys. The CEO tossed over. Since it's your home, you drive. And the CEO sat in the passenger seat. What are you thinking? A few minutes passed. Seeing no movement from me, she rolled down the car window to look at me. I stood outside with a confused face, hesitantly asking, well, I don't know how to drive. As soon as I said that, the CEO took off her sunglasses and looked at me with an astonished face. Feeling aggrieved, I said, boss, don't look at me like that. I really don't know how to drive. Every day for work, I just ride public bike. Plus I've worked at the company for so long. Have you ever seen me with a car, boss? Then I pointed at my injured left hand. Again, besides, in my current state, there's no way I can drive. Anyway, unless you want to die together with me. I held my head high and looked smugly at the CEO. My point being crystal clear. See what you can do about me seeing my punchable expression. The CEO really just wanted to strangle me with her own hands. Helpless, she rubbed her forehead with her hand. She had actually forgotten about my injury. After all, over the past few days, my cooking was still super nimble, so she always treated me as a fully healthy person. Switch places. The CEO, with a dark, annoyed face, grabbed the car keys from my hand, after which she started the engine and drove toward my home. I glanced at the navigation map. Getting home would probably take about 4 hours. All along the way, the CEO and I shared a lot of fun stories about the village. From when I was little, including when I went down to the river to catch frogs and went with my friends to catch fish. Plus that huge yellow dog at the entrance of the village that always tried to bite me whenever it saw me. The CEO listened intently because she had never experienced such a fun life. Since childhood, she was groomed to be a successor. Fun and games, no childhood only. Endless studying and business relationships. At this moment, the relationship between the CEO and me had undergone a subtle change. We were no longer like a boss and subordinate, but more like 2 close friends. A 4-hour car ride with my company went by super fast. Finally, in the afternoon, I arrived back at the village where I was born and raised. Whose luxury car is that looks so grand? I accompanied her, so it passed very quickly. Finally, in the afternoon, I made it back to the village where I was born and raised. Whose luxury car is this? Looks so fancy. Grand, how else look at that the body even has matte paint. Last month, my daughter told me her boss also just bought one exactly like this. Just entering the village, we were surrounded by quite a few people, gossiping and pointing at the car. Over the years, people only left the village and went away. Nobody ever returned to visit the village. So when we showed up in a flash, we became the center of attention. Oh my, isn't this Aunt Lou's kid? No way, who knew? After so many years of not meeting, you've become so successful now. The CEO felt shy being stared at by everyone and couldn't keep driving, so she stopped the car and rolled down the window. The villagers instantly recognized me. All right, we won't bother you guys anymore. Quickly go home to visit your parents. If they knew you came back, they'd definitely be so happy. Their mouths wouldn't be able to close, surrounded by the enthusiastic crowd of villagers. The CEO drove the car toward my house. From far away, I could already hear the sound of cats meowing echoing from the yard. A man, with his back turned, was continuously sprinkling kibble for the cats. That look didn't seem like raising cats, but more like searching for comfort. Dad, I got off the car and choked up, calling out. My dad turned his head around, stunned at first. You brat, you actually knew how to come back and visit me. Honey, quickly come out here. Our son is back. Seeing how the hair on both sides of my dad's temples had turned gray over the past few years, tears unconsciously welled up in my eyes. Hearing the shout, my mom, still wearing an apron, stepped out from inside the house. Seeing me, Mom got super excited, rushing over to give me a big hug, but this ended up hitting my injury. Go, gentle, please, your son is injured. Hearing me cry out in pain, my mom quickly let go to check, seeing my casted left hand. She almost cried. How did this happen? Why are you hurt so badly, son? I scratched my head and had to say I carelessly. Well, CEO, I lowered my head without saying a word, while Mom following. My gaze also spotted the beauty I brought home. This girl is so pretty. Are you little Chai's girlfriend? Mom, we're just friends. The CEO quickly interrupted me and spoke up to explain. Too bad the two elders didn't bother listening at all, just continuously nodding, looking like they were trying to say, "We're all young once Mom and Dad understand. Old man, we have a guest at home. Quickly go get some good food tonight. I'm making an exception and letting you drink a little alcohol." Hearing that he could drink alcohol, my dad instantly got hyped like he was injected with chicken blood. Why, usually, don't you let me drink alcohol, huh? I carried the luggage inside, then asked. A few days ago, our dad went for a checkup and found out his liver function had an issue. The doctor instructed him strictly not to drink alcohol anymore. So lately, Mom has been controlling him. Today, seeing you come back, she finally allowed him to drink a little. Only then did I realize, no wonder my dad was as excited as a kid today. Auntie, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Lin Gaozhi. I'm Chen Chai's friend. Hearing that he was coming back to visit you two this new year, I tagged along. I hope I'm not disturbing you too. Oh my goodness. What are you saying? You have no idea. Having you come here makes uncle and aunt so happy. This kid over all these years has never brought a girl home. You're the first one. And I also hope you're the last. I stood to the side, not wanting to say anything more. This stuff gets more complicated the more you try to explain. Very quickly after that, my dad bought a whole table of food back. The four of us gathered around the dining table. My mom kept serving food to Lin Gok while sharing childhood stories about me, only occasionally turning to ask me how I've been doing lately, acting like Lin Gaozhi was her biological daughter instead. Only now did I finally learn the CEO's real name. After finishing the meal I originally intended to help clear the dining table. But my mom used the excuse that I was injured to refuse telling me to take Lin Gok outside for a walk, having no other choice. After finishing dinner, I originally intended to help clean up the dining table, but my mom used the excuse that I was injured to refuse, telling me to take Lin Yaoshu out for a walk. Left with no other choice, had to take her for a walk around the village. While walking, a yellow shadow charged straight at me. Big Yellow, stop messing around. Back in the day, you used to chase and bite me. Now you've switched to licking me? Huh. I struggled to stand up, holding the yellow dog tight. I smiled and patted its head. When I was small, Big Yellow was the most energetic dog in the whole village. But along with my growing up, Big Yellow had gotten old too. Even its whiskers and eyebrows had started turning white. Feeling emotional, I pulled half a leftover sausage out of my pocket, planning to feed it. But the second I lowered my head, Big Yellow was already nowhere to be seen. By the time I reacted, it had already rushed to Lin Gok's feet, wagging its tail non-stop to suck up to her. Hey, you shameless freeloading traitor. Seeing an acquaintance and not hype at all, I was literally about to feed you. And the moment a new beauty shows up, she instantly tames you simping dog. Although my mouth said that I still knew my place and stood to the side, watching Lin Gaoshu and Big Yellow play with each other. Facing Hair Yellow's enthusiasm at first, Lin Gaoshu was pretty scared, but out of curiosity, she still squatted down and couldn't help but pat Big Yellow's head. Seeing this, Big Yellow wagged its tail even more happily. It really likes you, watching one person and one dog play together. So happily, I couldn't help but sigh. After playing for a bit, Lin Gaoshu stood up, looked at me and said, "Take me to see the city god temple in your village." Sure enough, I really couldn't dodge this, huh? Well, no way out. We're already here anyway. I had to lead Lin Gaoshu, winding through a few turns, walking up to the city god temple on the small hill. Back then, the village was still pretty crowded, and the incense burning at the city god temple never stopped. But as more and more young people left the village to go to the city to make a living, the city god temple became increasingly deserted. But luckily, my dad became village chief and renovated this place, which helped the temple regain its former vitality. The CEO walked around the city god temple twice, then pulled out her phone to zoom in on that previous photo. Even though the city god temple back then was run down and dilapidated compared to now, truly a night and day difference. A few structural styles still hadn't changed. Lin Gaoshu held up the photo to compare. Very quickly, she confirmed that this was indeed the place. After looking for a while, Lin Gaoshu turned around and suddenly said to me, "Can you help me take a picture?" "Please," flustered, I nodded, my head taking the phone from her hand, adjusting the angle, and snapping a photo for her. Lin Gaoshu took back her phone and very quickly sent the photo out. "I'm here, it's right here. If you're here, can you come meet me?" The evening breeze blew Lin Gaoshu's flowing hair round, looking at her lonely expression. I couldn't resist wanting to step forward, wrap her in an embrace, and tell her out loud that I'm right here, I love you. But until the very end, I still couldn't take that step forward. Honestly, when I arrived at this village, I already knew my previous lie was definitely exposed. Because the signal in this village already had 5G coverage, the idea of not receiving messages basically didn't exist. Lin Gaoshu is so smart, must have already figured out that her online dating partner didn't fail to receive messages, but simply didn't want to reply. Chenjai, if a friend of yours kept hiding and refusing to meet, why do you think that is? Lin Gaoshu, her face filled with disappointment, put her phone away. She turned her head to look at me and asked, "If it's not because he wants to dodge paying back your money, then maybe he has some kind of unspeakable hardship." With my answer, she didn't seem too satisfied. She walked straight into the city god temple. On the altar, fresh incense was already laid out. She casually unwrapped bundle, lit it up, and inserted it into the burner. She closed her eyes, sincerely praying, "I hope he can appear before me, even if it's just to get a single glance at him that would." Closed my eyes and sincerely prayed he could appear right in front of, even if it's just to get one look at him, be enough. Lin Gaoshu stood there for a very long time after she opened her eyes and turned around, just happening to meet my gaze. Honestly, the city god temple in the village isn't that big. I looked at her and smiled. Lin Gaoshu let out a long sigh, walked over, and took the initiative to grab my arm. "Let's go back." Seeing her so downcast like that, I didn't feel like saying anything more and could only obediently let her pull me back. Just as we got back home, before we even stepped into the yard, we could already hear my parents talking. "Do you think that girl is our son's girlfriend? How could she be? You can tell at a glance she's either wealthy or super high class. The stuff that girl brought over this time, I don't even know what any of it is, mostly all in English." Hearing the conversation between two of them, Lin Gaoshu didn't step in right away, but pulled me to stand eavesdropping at the yard gate. If by chance those two are actually a couple, then our Chen family ancestral grave is truly smoking green. It's just I wonder if this girl will require the kids to take her last name. Hearing the two elders talk, I wished I could find a hole to crawl into. On the flip side, Lin Gaoshu still kept a totally calm face, but the way that girl looks at our son can definitely feel she really likes her son. Hearing up to here, I looked over in shock at Lin Gaoshu, but from her eyes I couldn't read anything at all. I stood at the yard gate and coughed dryly, twice interrupting the conversation between two of them. If I let them keep talking, who knows what wild rumors might slip out. Seeing me bring Lin Gaoshu in, my parents quickly stood up to greet us, then brought fruit out from inside the house for two of us to eat. "Oh, right, Uncle Chenjai took me to see the city god temple in the village. I heard it was renovated not long ago. Was that your doing? The village elected me as committee chief, so I thought I should secure some benefits for everyone. Besides, it wasn't recently renovated. It's been almost half a year already." Lin Gaoshu heard this, nodded, and didn't say anything else. As for me, I knew this time my cover was completely blown, because that photo of the old city god temple was something I just sent to Lin Gaoshu 3 days ago. In other words, the timeline didn't match up at all. Luckily, she didn't press the matter any further. In the evening, my parents prepared a room for the two of us. I mean, for me. Just as I was fast asleep, was suddenly woken up by a knock on the door. I rubbed my eyes, came out, and opened the door. Sure enough, Lin Gaoshu, wearing pajamas again, was standing right in front of the door. Boss, knocking on my door at your place was one thing, but now that we're at my home, aren't you afraid of the villagers? Gossiping Lin Gok didn't care at all, walking straight into my room, finding a spot to sit down after, which she slowly looked at me without uttering a word. Boss, what are you trying to do? I'm super sleepy. Already, please. Just let me sleep. Okay? I don't know. What got into this lady in the middle of the night again? Tomorrow morning, the whole village will probably be buzzing with rumors about a girl barging into my room in the middle of the night. I just sent you a file. Accept it. Dazedly, I pulled out my phone, unlocked the screen, and prepared to accept the file. The very next second, a video call came through. At this point, I still hadn't realized what was happening and just, out of conditioned reflex, tapped answer. When Lin Gokju's face appeared on my phone screen, I knew everything. It was too late. I had no idea what to say and didn't even dare to raise my head to look at Lin Gokju, only able keep my head buried, staring dead at the phone screen, enduring Lin Gokju's scrutinizing gaze. How about you give me a chance to explain? Who would have guessed she didn't say a single word, turned around, and walked right out, leaving me standing there dazed, all by myself. I'm completely cooked. At this moment, I felt like my whole world had collapsed. I had no idea how I was going to face Lin Gokju next. A night passed in silence. Early the next morning, she left without saying a word, turning her back and walking off directly, leaving me standing there blankly, all alone. I'm totally dead meat now. In this moment, I felt like the whole world had collapsed, not knowing how to face Lin Gokju going forward. A night passed in silence. Early the next morning. After that, I walked out of the room and just happened to see Lin Gokju coming out as well. Good morning, boss. Who would have thought? Lin Gokju just coldly glanced at me, turned her head, and walked away. Awkwardly, reached up to touch my nose. Looks like trying to coax for anytime soon is going to be impossible. At breakfast, hearing that Lin Gokju was preparing to leave, Mom blurted out, "What, you two have to leave? Day already? Something urgent popped up at the company that needs to be handled, auntie. Besides, Enjai is a star employee, they can't do without him." Even though Lin Gokju said that, she didn't spare me a single glance the entire time. My mom looked at me, then turned to look at Lin Gokju, seemingly understanding something. "You must feel uncomfortable here, right? Normally, you two live together, so being suddenly separated must be hard to get used to. In that case, as your mother, I won't hold you two back any longer. So after finishing breakfast, pack up and head back. But all these gifts you brought, you have to take them back, okay? I appreciate the thought from both of you, but your dad and I can't even finish eating all this." We couldn't stop the two elders' enthusiasm at all. Those gifts brought here were all packed right back up for us to carry home. Hear me out, let me explain. After total silence the whole way, I finally couldn't hold it in and spoke up. "Here. You explain what? Explain how? You tricked me." Even though I didn't know when Lin Gokju started suspecting me, if she really made me explain, I genuinely had nothing to say. Just like that, for 4 whole hours of driving, the two of us didn't say another word to each other. Arriving downstairs, I went to reach out for the luggage. Who would have thought Lin Gokju let go first? Seeing her firm attitude, I had no choice but to let go and stand off to the side. Who would have thought the very next second she lost her balance and fell? Seeing that, I rushed forward, intending to help her up. "Get away from me!" Lin Gokju snapped angrily, stubbornly, getting up and dragging her heavy luggage, stepping into the building, one step at a time. Watching her back gradually fade away, I knew this place was somewhere I'd probably never be able to visit again. Dazed, I returned home and pulled out from my pocket the keyring I had hidden earlier before, just to trick Lin Gokju. I'd hidden it away. But now, reflecting on everything I had done at this very moment, I realized I was truly a clown, wasting so much effort to hide my identity. In the end, I got nothing out of it. Getting home, looking at the empty apartment, I sat on the sofa like a lost soul, not knowing how long it had been. I stood up, walked into the bathroom, and washed my face, looking at my haggard appearance in the mirror. I couldn't hold back and slapped myself in the face. Chencha, you're really not man enough. If you like her, then go shoot your shot. What's the big deal? Thinking that I tidied myself up neatly, then brought gifts downstairs to Lin Gok's place. Gok, I like you. Standing in the middle of heart-shaped candles that had been lit, holding a bouquet of fresh flowers in my hands, I shouted up at the floor above. Give me a chance to pursue. The whole apartment complex echoed with my shouts, but didn't receive a single response. Go Sug. Even if you want to sentence me to death, you still have to give me a chance to say my final words. I know I lied to you, but back when I really didn't know your true identity, I never expected the person I liked was actually my own boss. As soon as these words left my mouth, I heard the sound of a window upstairs being pushed open by someone. Looking up, it wasn't Lin Gaochu, but a man wearing an apron. Bro, keep going, don't stop. I stared at him speechlessly. This guy actually had a handful of sunflower seeds in his hand. Because of our difference in status, I was afraid of you finding out. Afraid that once you knew, you'd leave me. As soon as I finished saying this, a few more windows were popped open. The residents living in the apartment complex were all, I was afraid that if you found out, you'd leave me. The moment this sentence was said, a few more windows were opened. The residents living in the apartment complex all popped their heads out. Then what? What happens next? Seeing so many people suddenly appear, felt a bit embarrassed, but I knew that if I backed down this time, I'd never have another chance. I admit I lied to you. I was a coward. I was useless. But when cooking for you at your house, I knew that I had already fallen for you, looking at you, smiling while eating. Do you know how happy I was at that moment? My words received agreements from quite a few women, and they started taking turns scolding the men at home. Now I've thought it all through. Even if you are my boss, I still want a chance. Prove that I love you. I don't even need to get a salary from now on. All right. As soon as these words were uttered, the spectating neighbors around all burst out laughing. Some even found me cutely foolish. If you don't come down here today, I'm just going to stand here forever. Having said my piece, I made up my mind, holding the bouquet of fresh flowers, standing frozen there. More and more onlookers gathered around. Just like that, word spread like wildfire. Some looked up at the upper floors, some surrounded me very quickly. A dense crowd packed the area downstairs. As time passed, minute by minute, second by second, half an hour later, quite a few people lost their patience. Hey, bro, maybe give it up. I don't think she has any intention of coming down. Quite a few people beside me advised me that if it really didn't work out, just give up. I raised my head, using all my strength to shout up to the top floor. Do I really have no chance left? The surroundings suddenly went dead silent. Looking at the building's entrance, not a single soul appeared. I knew that maybe I really didn't have a chance anymore. When the final candle burned out, my hope shattered along with it. Dejectedly lowering my head, I prepared to turn back. The crowd automatically parted to give me a way out. I could clearly see everyone's expressions, some were regretful, some disappointed, and some even gloating. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out. What are you doing here? I raised my head, happening to meet Ngaksu's gaze, which was also filled with shock. Looking at the supermarket cart packed full beside Lin Gaoxu, I knew she had just gone grocery shopping and wasn't even home. Man, my emotions were totally wasted, and I wasn't planning on redoing the confession from the start anyway. So I threw away the bouquet in my hands, rushed over, and tightly hugged Lin Gaoxu in my arms. What are you doing? Quickly let go of me. Do you hear me? Don't struggle too hard. My hand still hurts. Just let me hug you for a bit. Just a bit. I buried my head into Lin Gaoxu's shoulder, taking in the faint fragrance from her hair. The people around started cheering non-stop, shouting loudly, "Get together, get together. Let go of me first. Let's go home and talk." Okay, being stared at by so many people, even Gaoxu couldn't keep her cool and had to beg me to let her go first. Hearing about going home, I hurriedly stood up, nodding frenziedly, then took the initiative to grab the shopping cart from her hands, pushing it back. Seeing this, then Gaoxu quickly hurried after me, because she really couldn't lose any more face. Thanks, bros. When it's time to get married, I'll definitely send wedding invitations to everyone. Lin Gok stepped up, grabbed my arm and said, "Haven't you embarrassed yourself enough? Just wait till we get home and see how I deal with you." Even though my ear hurt a lot at this moment, my heart felt so sweet. Home with Lin Gok, seeing her sit down on the sofa, I walked straight over and with a thud, knelt on the floor. "I know my mistake." I lowered my head aggrievedly and said, but very quickly I saw Gaosug's long legs wearing black pantyhose appear right in front of my eyes. In an instant, I completely forgot what I was planning to say next. Lin Gaoxu, who was originally waiting for me to continue, saw me staring dead at her legs and immediately pulled her legs back, sitting cross-legged on the sofa. "Keep looking around carelessly, and I'll gouge your eyes out." I flinched quickly, wiping the drool from the corner of my mouth, and said, "I won't look anymore. Won't look anymore today." Saw me staring intently at her feet and immediately pulled her legs back, sitting cross-legged on the sofa while looking around carefully. "I'll gouge your eyes out." I jumped in shock, hurriedly wiping the drool off the corner of my mouth, saying, "Not looking anymore. Not looking anymore. Today, you came to find me looks like it was to propose. So, will you be my wife?" Taking advantage of that, I tried stand up, but who would have thought Lin Gaoshu kicked me back down again. This time, I didn't dare to be playful anymore. "I know I lied to you. Cheated your feelings. But before knowing your real identity, I truly wanted to go with you to the end of the road at this moment." I put away my usual jokey attitude, raised my head to look straight into Lin Gaoshu's eyes, and said. Lin Gaoshu didn't have any reaction at all. The meaning was crystal clear. "Keep talking. If you don't explain this properly, don't even think about standing up later at the meeting." I finally learned your identity. At that time, I was scared to death. You were the high and mighty CEO, and I was just a low-level employee under you. I felt like we had no hope left. Hearing my explanation, Lin Gaoxua's face turned beet red, and you even made her wear that embarrassing outfit to go out to dinner with me. The more Lin Gaoxu thought about it, the madder she got. She straight up kicked me, sending me rolling over. "What's wrong?" Everything I said was straight from the heart. I looked at her with a confused face. "Nothing, I just wanted to kick you." "Stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and confess." I got up aggrievedly and continued laying out my offenses. "Didn't you injure me after that and take me home?" Seeing your silly look while cooking, I immediately what? I looked at Lin Gaoxu, my eyes serious as I answered. Immediately wanted to take care of you for the rest of my life. Being looked at by me like that, Lin Gaoxu got a little shy, especially after hearing my last sentence. Her face blushed even redder. "Smooth talker." Lin Gaoxu pettily glared at me. "Now I've thought it all through. No matter who it is, everyone has the right to pursue their own happiness. I don't expect you to agree right now. I just hope you can give me a chance to pursue you. I'll prove to you that I love you." At this moment, my expression was extremely serious, so much that Lin Gaoxu felt her cheeks burning up from me staring at her. After hearing what I said, Lin Gaoxu looked at me and said in an arrogant tone, "Whether I give you a chance or not depends on how you perform tonight. I want to eat something delicious." Hearing Lin Gaoxu say that, I hurriedly stood up, mimicking the mannerisms of an ancient waiter, replying right away, "Honored guest, just wait and see." "Okay." Very quickly I neatly organized the pile of ingredients Lin Gaoxu bought, picked out a few dishes she likes to eat, and started getting busy in the kitchen. This was a very good start. She was willing to give me a chance instead of straight up kicking me out. If I perform well, the chance of success is still huge. Put this on so you don't dirty your clothes. Without me realizing, Lin Gaoxu had appeared behind my back, her hands gently wrapped around my waist, tying the apron strings for me. Moi. Before I could even react, a pair of slightly cold lips gently touched my cheek. After that, Lin Gaoxu ran off to the side, sat down on the sofa, and stared dead at me. Well, can I get another kiss on this side?" I pointed my finger at my right cheek. "Still depends on your performance. tonight's food isn't delicious, and you can just sleep on the first floor as a man. How could I not understand Lin Goksu's meaning at this point, right? The hint was super clear. If I do well tonight, I might get to sleep in the same room as her. It was like I was injected with energy, trying my best to flex all my skills. From behind, Lin Goksu just quietly sat on the sofa, watching. When she first got back, Lin Goksu was super angry, feeling like he had played with her feelings and couldn't accept it for a moment. But thinking back, the person she liked online was actually this man right in front of her. Besides, over the past few days of interaction, she realized he wasn't annoying at all like she imagined. So she decided that tomorrow she would find him, talk things out clearly. If they really weren't a good match to be together, breaking up early would be better for both of them. But who would have thought just in the middle of wasn't like imagined, so she decided tomorrow she'd look for him to clear everything up. If they were really not meant to be together, then breaking up early would be better for both. But unexpectedly, right in the middle of she went out to buy groceries, you had rushed right downstairs to her place, and facing your sincere confession, Lin Goksu let down her guard inside. No matter who the person she likes is, in the end, it's still him. What are you looking at? Is there a flower on my face? While having dinner, he kept staring at Lin Goksu, staring so much that she felt shy. I nodded with a giggle, saying, "My wife, no matter how much I look at you, I can never get enough." "Who's your wife? I haven't even agreed yet." Seeing Lin Goksu's embarrassed look, I pulled my phone out of my pocket, pressed play. "Hubby, in the future, if we are together, you have to cook delicious food for me every day. Okay? Your wife is super foodie. Is that okay?" Hearing it, Lin Goksu got embarrassed, threw her stuff down, and snatched my phone away. "Stop playing it, I'm dying of embarrassment." Right then she saw the Notes app on my home screen and curiously opened it to take a look. Very quickly, she was left completely speechless. Today, I met girl online. We talked super happily, total kindred spirits. She made me call her babe. To be honest, I was still a bit shy. After all, this is my first time dating. I took a chance and asked her to send me a few spicy pics. Didn't expect her to actually send them. Her body is super nice inside. I'm secretly overjoyed. She said she likes eating grilled fish, and my specialty happens to be grilled fish. Is this a match made in heaven? Lin Goksu scrolled through my notes very quickly, the corners of her eyes turning red. But I just found out the CEO is actually my online dating partner. But am I worthy? I want to pursue her, want to be by her side. But would she even look at an employee like me? Whatever. I'll muster all my courage to pursue her. This bratty girl's grip is super strong, too. Almost broke my arm. If we get together, I can't let her commit domestic violence against me. Lin Goksu flipped through so many pages on which everything was recorded extremely clearly, from the time I and her met online to all the little details afterwards. I remembered every single one clearly. I've been found out. She's not talking to me anymore. Will we just end things like this? I'm not resigned to this. I want to be brave. For once, I have to go find her. Here the notes came to an end because I was standing right in front of her. I smiled, watching Lin Goksu wipe away her tears. She picked up the phone, typed a sentence, and then showed it to me. He and I are together now. Today is our anniversary. I looked at the phone, then looked back at Lin Goksu, seeing her shyly nod her head. I ecstatically pounced forward, tightly hugging her, using all my strength to hold her close, wishing I could press her right into my body. "I won't let you down. I love you," I whispered into Lin Goksu's ear. "Yeah, I know," Lin Goksu softly replied. With one hand, I held onto her shoulder, and at this moment, our eyes locked onto each other. I couldn't hold it back any longer. Holding the back of her neck and passionately kissing her lips, Lin Goksu also intensely turned my kiss. It felt like all the time that passed was just a test for our love, and today it finally bore fruit. Since the mood had gotten to this point, I intended to scoop Lin Goksu up and carry her into the bedroom, but was stopped by her. "What's wrong? Didn't you say you'd wear that sexy purple lingerie for me to see?" planning to go back on your word. But in the end, no matter. But I said, Lin Gaoxu kept using the excuse that I was injured, reject my request. That night, we lay in the same bed doing nothing at all, just quietly holding each other and pouring out our hearts chatting like that, until both of us fell asleep. Early the next morning, I was woken up by a sharp scream from Lin Gaoxu. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw her frantically searching for clothes in the room. "What's wrong, babe?" Lin Gaoxue glared at me while putting on her clothes and said, "It's all your fault," was woken up by Lin Yaoxue's blood-curdling scream. The moment I opened my eyes, I saw her frantically rummaging around for clothes in the room. "What's wrong, babe?" Lin Yaoxue glared at me, once putting on clothes, while saying, "It's all your fault. You insisted on making me talk until late at night today. There's a regular meeting. I'm about to be late. Here right now." I was lying on the bed, feeling that soft comfort watching Lin Gok bustling back and forth. Honestly, it really felt like being a toy boy, kept by a sugar mommy. "You're the CEO of the company. The company can't do without you fighting. I gotta sleep a bit more." Having said that, I rolled over and went back to sleep. By the time I woke up, it was almost noon. I got out of bed, tidied up a bit, and then started cooking. After getting everything ready, I packed the food into lunchboxes, caught a taxi, and went downstairs to the company. Under Jitan's shocked gaze, pushed open the CEO's office door. "Babe, did you miss me? I made a love lunch for you." I rushed in with super exaggerated movements, but the very next second I froze on the spot because this moment the office was packed with people. I suddenly remembered that after finishing the regular Monday meeting, the CEO gathers all the core staff in the office to conduct a detailed follow-up meeting. After that, Lin Gaoxu brought me back to her hometown to meet her parents. At the dinner table, my future father-in-law and I drank super happily, tugging at each other, almost kneeling down to become sworn brothers. If Lin Gaoxu hadn't stopped us by now, I might have become her uncle. When leaving, the two elders stuffed into my hands 2 bank cards saying that this was their savings over many years. One card was for us to hold the wedding, and the other card was reserved for our future child. After refusing repeatedly without success, I had no choice but to accept 2 cards, then went back home with Lin Gaoxue. At night, I hugged Lin Gaoxue with a wicked smile on my face. That look made her feel very uneasy. "Wife, look. Both your parents have already given money for our future child. Shouldn't we seize time to have a baby? Otherwise, we won't know where to spend this money." Lin Gaoxu scolded, "You rogue." Then she crawled out from under the blanket. Only then did I realize she was wearing that exact purple nightgown from back then. At this moment, I couldn't hold back any longer. After holding it in for so long today, it finally bore fruit right after I let out a roar and pounced to grab her. After that, with 0 surprises, Gaoxu got pregnant very quickly after our wedding was held. To fulfill my promise back then, invited all the residents in the apartment complex to attend. At the wedding, my parents cried buckets of tears, their mouths constantly muttering that the pig raised at home finally got to eat a nice cabbage when my father-in-law brought Lin Gaoxu in her wedding dress and handed her to me. Looking at the breathtakingly gorgeous woman before, I felt like I was dreaming. "I love you. Will you agree to be my wife?" At that moment, I went down on one knee on the ground, holding our wedding ring in my hand, looking at Lin Gaoxu with eyes full of deep affection. Lin Gaoxu held the bridal mic and yelled at the top of her voice, "I," so that everyone could hear. After getting married, we went on our honeymoon in so many places. During that time, I felt like I was the happiest husband in the world. Seeing Lin Gaoxu's belly grow bigger day by day, make taking care of her easier, brought my parents up from the countryside to live together with us in our apartment complex. The 2 elders looked at Lin Gaoxu's belly, overjoyed beyond belief, while Lin Gaoxu switched into pampering mode. As a result, all company pressure landed straight on my shoulders, keeping me busy around the clock every single day. After dealing with company matters, I dragged my tired body back home from work to cook nutritious meals for Lin Gaoxu. for half a month straight. The menu she requested never repeated a single dish. After all the hustle, Lin Gaoxue gained weight while mom to exhausting my brain and body lost over 5 kilos soon enough. The day arrived for Lin Gaoxue to give birth. Me and the whole big family. The menu she ordered never repeated a single dish. After a whole round of craziness, Lin Gaoxue had gained weight while I too exhausting. My mind and body dropped over 5 kilos pretty soon. It was the day Lin Gaoxue gave birth. Me and the whole big family waited outside the delivery room, anxiously waiting, until the doctor held a tiny cute baby and walked out. Only then did we breathe a sigh of relief. Doctor intended to hold the baby out to me, but I asked my parents-in-law to hold the baby instead, and immediately rushed straight into the hospital room. Seeing that action of mine, the parents on both sides nodded in satisfaction. Under our attentive care, little Chenlin grew up healthy and strong. Ngog, after becoming a mother, stepped back to the rear guard at the company, becoming my personal secretary. Today happened to be Monday again. I hosted the regular meeting with the staff in the conference room. Originally, this was supposed to be the job of Linko Gaku, but now I was doing it in her place. During the meeting, I started talking about the company's future direction as well as tasks for the current phase. Suddenly, a message popped up on the projection screen. The sender was, "Beloved wife, transfer me $50 and tonight I'll bear you a second kid. 50 yuan tonight to pop out a second kid for you."